What does Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message really teach us all? What is their message all about? Guru Nanak Dev Ji's path is a path of oneness. Bhai Lehna Ji went to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and they said to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, what is the Mala Mantar? Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, the Mala Mantar is Japji Sahib. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Ji. Ek ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਇਕ ਮਨ ਪੁਰਖ ਧਿਆਏ ਬਰਦਾਤਾ ਸੰਤ ਸਹਾਰ ਸਦਾ ਬਿਖਿਆਤਾ ਤਾਸ ਚਰਨ ਲੈ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਬਸਾਵੋ ਤੋ ਪਰਮ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵੋ ਕਿਛ ਰੂਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਛ ਜਾਤ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਢੰਗ ਨ ਮੇਰਾ ਕਿਆ ਮੋਲ ਹੈ ਬੋਲੇ ਗੁਣ ਬਿਹੂਣ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਿਆ ਨਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਹਮ ਪਾਪੀ ਸੰਗ ਗੁਰ ਉਬਰੇ ਪੁਨ ਸਤ ਗੁਰ ਕੇਰਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਣੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹੈ ਸੇਵਕ ਜਨ ਮਾਨੈ ਪਰਤਖ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਿਸਤਾਰੇ ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਾਰ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤ ਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ।
ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਪੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਪੀ ਸਚ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਅੱਜ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ। We're so grateful to Guru Sahib Ji that we've been blessed to be able to come into Sangat again this week, and on an evening where we might be doing other activities and celebrating other events with our families, but we've all been able to be blessed to be able to come here in the Sangat, in the Guru Sanctuary. Guru Sahib Ji, like we said last week, they would say, Vade Bhag Paya Sadh Sang, that with great good fortune, we're able to come here together. The first panktiyan of this Shabad were, Sun Katha Utari Mail, Sun Har Katha Utari Mail. That by listening to the Katha of Vaheguru Ji, listening to the Katha of Gurbani of Guru Sahib Ji, our inner mail, those inner vices, that inner dirt, you could say, that we have within us, that is washed away. And then Maharaj would bless us and say, they'd carry on in the Shabad and they would say, Par Brahm Syo Lago Rang. That through this process of listening to Katha, by actually becoming pure through this process, that actually coming into Sangat really helps us fall more in love with that Guru Sahib, with Vaheguru Ji, with God. So Sadh Sangat Ji, we are truly blessed and truly lucky to be here today. So last week we effectively, in summary format, explained that Vaheguru Ji and Guru Sahib Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Gurbani are one and the same thing. Where Vaheguru, God, Allah, Bhagwan, Parameshwar, all these different names for God, right? That God, that energy, that divine force that's created the universe, that's created everything, is here within their creation right now. God is present right now within all of us. We are not exempt from God. That one formless Lord manifested themselves as Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and now that manifestation that we see today is in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Akho Satnam Sri Vaheguru. And from that, Sadh Sangat Ji, we looked at the greatness of Gurbani, how powerful Gurbani is, how much of a treasure chest of wisdom there is in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and how we are able to access this. We can tap into this knowledge to help our lives get better. And we can then, through this process of understanding this wisdom, be able to get rid of our anxieties, control our anger, our vices, our jealousies, our greeds. Because we all have these 5 vices, these panch jor that Gurbani talk about. We all have them. To some degree or another, we have a level of ego, greed and jealousy and anger and lust. We have this. The point is, how do we control that? And then how do we bring that into a level that is manageable within us? And through this, we can then understand Guru's Bani and then connect with Vaheguru Ji themselves and experience God. So this is the power of Gurbani, Sadh Sangat Ji. A Benti that we shared last week, and we've just recited it in the Manglacharan, Bani Guru, Guru hai Bani. Guru Sahib Ji is explaining to us, actually Bani is Guru and Guru is Bani. There's no difference between the two. Which Bani Amrit Sare. Now, the next Benti is really relevant going forward, Sadh Sangat Ji. Again, we're building our foundational knowledge of how we're going to build upon this Katha series. Maharaj would say, Gurbani kahe, sevak jan mane, partakh guru nistare. That whatever Gurbani says, Gurbani kahe, whatever Guru's Bani, whatever that words of wisdom from Gurbani is, whatever Maharaj says to us, sevak jan mane, as a sevak hoke, sevadar banke, by becoming a sevadar, by actually saying that Guru Sahib Ji, I am your slave. They're talking about a quality of humility here. bringing in humility into our hearts and standing in front of Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj and saying, Maharaj, I'm your sevadar, I'm your sevak, I'm your jan, I'm your slave. Bless me to understand what your bani is so I can walk on that path and continue to improve myself. Gurbani kya hai, sevak jan mane, gal man li di hundi hai. We need to accept what Guru Sahib Ji is saying to us in these words. Sevak jan mane, then partak Guru nistare, then partak, immediately Guru Sahib Ji is going to be able to come and help us in one way, shape or form. They will come and help us. How often do we see Sad Sangat Ji? And I'm sure the Sangat of the Guru, Pyareo, your beloved Sangat members of the Guru, you've experienced this where you've done this Ardas and Maharaj has made that Ardas come true. If not now, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, or whenever. Ardas comes true because that Ardas has been done from the heart. So Sad Sangat Ji, keep this Pangti in mind, that whatever Guru Bani says, we accept it, because that is the source of truth. The other thing, Sad Sangat Ji, before we continue in today's Katha, Guru Amardass Ji Maharaj wrote a slok, and in this slok Maharaj says, Babaniya kahaniya pota saput karen. And this is really important that we understand this. Guru Amardass Ji, our third Guru, is saying to us, by listening to the stories, the Sakhian, the history of our Gurus, of our ancestors, Babaniya means Babe, our ancestors, Kahaniya means stories, Sakhian. By listening to the Sakhian of our ancestors, Put, which is children, Saput, which means good children, Karen. It makes children, all of us, not just little children, we're all Guru's children, makes us from children into great children, into good children. How? They say, Je Satguru Pave, so manalen. So here then it's saying by actually understanding our history, by understanding our roots of who we are, where we've come from, what did Guru Sahib Ji do in their lives, applying Guru Sahib Ji's wisdom, Je Satguru Pave, so manalen, which is really important. Gurbani the Pangtian, Gurbani's lines are relating them to a Sakhi to kind of help us learn the theory and then the practicality about how that was practiced will help us embed that teaching in our life. And that's really vital. Because if you take an analogy right now, if you're on a driving test, right, you do the theory, and if you do the theory, you haven't passed the test yet. You can't even go for the test. You need to do the practical. And you might have to watch some videos, you might have to learn, you have to have a teacher who will show you what to do. He's taught you the theory, you've read the theory, you get it, you've memorized it, but then you need the practice to be able to see how it's implemented. And once you get that, once the instructor has taught you that and actually shown you that and you've practiced it and tried it, it then becomes embedded. It becomes a lesson that is forever embedded in our lives. Whoever can drive a car, you can almost drive, single-handedly, literally. So, in the same way, Guru Amardass Ji is saying ke babaniya kahaniya put saput karen je satguru pave, so manalen appa, let's accept whatever Guru Sahib Ji is asking for us to do. Then they will say karam karen. Then we're starting to then do the right things because we're accepting the hukum, we understand the practice because we know the history, and we then put it into our lives. I'll give you a very quick example. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj write a shabad, Sadho man ka maan tyago, Kam krodh sangat durujan ki tante ehnis pago. I'll explain it very quickly. There's a Sakhi behind this, and the Sakhi is that Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj went to meet some sadhus, and they met a group of sadhus, these holy spiritual people, and they had a lot of pride within them. And to break their pride, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji explained to them, Ke sadho man ka maan tyago, forsake your pride, because the sangat, the group of people that you are around, are giving you lust, kam, krodh, they're giving you anger. Sangat durjan ki, that group of people, that sangat who is negative, giving you that negative energy, that negative vibration. Tante ehnis pago, just get away from there. Just get out of that Sangat, get out of that circle. So we know the teaching, we know the Gurbani lines, we know the Sakhi. You think, well, how do I apply that now in my life? I'll give you an example. And it's happened to me, and it's happened to other people that I know, so I can share this. WhatsApp groups, social media. If you are in WhatsApp groups where they're inciting lustful thoughts, sharing not nice material, let's say, or they're sharing stuff that is invoking anger, or you're on Twitter or X, what do they call it nowadays, and you're on Instagram and you're following people who are invoking negative stuff, which is against Gurmat, which is giving you wrong intentions and wrong thoughts that are not connecting you with Guru Sahib, but connecting you with something else, negatively speaking, you know what I mean. Leave them. Drop out of the groups. Unfollow those people, unfollow those social media sites. Because that's another example of tate ehnes pago. Get out of there. Get away from it. And the ego bit comes in where we might be too self-conscious about leaving a WhatsApp group. We might think, well, actually, if I leave that WhatsApp group, what are my friends going to say to me? What are they going to think? Or what are this group of people going to think? Who does he or she think they are? They've left this group. But this is the man, this is our ego thinking about yourself. We're thinking about us. We're thinking, well, actually, if I leave that group, it's going to affect me because it's my ego that's going to get hurt and affected. But nahi Sadh Sangat Ji, nahi. The point is that we need to leave it, let go of our pride and our ego, we can move on. So I'm just giving you this as an example about how we can learn through Sakhian, how we can learn through Pangtian, the theory of Gurbani, and actually put that into practice in every single day in our lives. Sadh Sangat Ji, the Utanaka, which is the history and the backstory of Sri Japji Sahib part. We're going to talk about the history of Sri Japji Sahib. And we'll talk about the greatness of Sri Japji Sahib as well. How powerful is this bani? And then towards the end of today's Katha, we'll actually go through some very brief definitions of the Mool Mantar. The Utanaka, the backstory of Sri Japji Sahib Ji part. In order to go through this, we have to go back to right to the point of when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was about to get married. And you're probably thinking, why am I going so far back? And it'll make sense in a moment. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are about to marry Amardass Lakhu Ji. And the family are saying that you need to walk around a fire, which was as per Hindu rituals and Hindu traditions, that was the done thing. Sadh Sangat Ji, just as a reminder, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was born into the Benti clan, which was a Kshatriya, which were a warrior clan from the Hindu faith. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was about to marry Amardass Lakhu Ji, and they had to go around a traditional Hindu fire, an Agni. Yeah? Now, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj rejected the fire. And they said, well, I'm not going to go around the fire. What I am going to do is write on a piece of paper. And they asked for a piece of paper to be given to them with a pen and a Rumalla Sahib. And they got a little, like a rail or a little stool. And they wrote on this piece of paper, Ek Oankar, Satnam, Karta Purkh, Nirapao, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni Sabang, Gur Prasad. So they went from Ek Oankar to Gur Prasad. They wrote this on a piece of paper. And they then put the paper on a Rumalla Sahib. And they then did their Anand Karaj, their wedding, by walking around 4 times around that mantar, which we call the Maha Mantar. And that was how Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj got married to Amardass Lakhu Ji. The point to note here, Sadh Sangat Ji, is at that time when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was relatively young, they knew they had that wisdom of Vaheguru Ji at that time. They had that wisdom of God. They had the Maha Mantar known to them. That was their teaching. That was what their message was to the world at that time. The next part of this, Sadh Sangat Ji, is when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was married, they went to Sultanpur Lodi. Sultanpur is where Guru Nanak Dev Ji, if we remember some of their Sakhiyan, were doing the work in the store. And the Modi Khana, the store, they would give people food and give people grains. And they would give it, without even counting. They'd get to the point where they'd say, Tera, Tera, Tera. They'd just give and give. And Sadh Sangat Ji, at that point when they're at Sultanpur, they used to go to the river nearby called the Bein Nadi, the Bein River. And they'd go there and they would bathe every morning, and then they would do their meditation, their bhakti. One day, Sadh Sangat Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj went to the Bein Nadi and they didn't come out for 3 days. I'm sure a lot of you may have heard this before. They didn't come out for 3 days and everybody was in despair. Everybody, Bhai Mardana Ji, their trusted fellow disciple, their family, Bibi Nanaki Ji, Mata Salakani Ji, all the people around the community at Sultanpur Lodi was very, very worried about Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And they'd actually thought that after 3 days of searching, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji had drifted into the water and had left their physical form. Sadh Sangat Ji, we know different. 3 days later, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj emerged, and Maharaj came out of the water. They had actually been, as we know now, to Sachkhand. They had actually been in one and merged with that divine Lord, with that divine power, and they'd been given a message. And the message was, the first things that they said when they came out of the river, the Bein Nadi, was, Na koi Hindu na Musalman. We often see that there's no Hindu and there's no Musalman. Because in the community at the time, there was these tensions and conflicts between Hindu people and Muslim people, between the Islamic people. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message was that they're all the same. That actually they're all one. There's no Hindus and no Musliman. Not as though the religions didn't exist, but to basically break the categorization, break the pigeonholes, to say, actually, we're all just human beings. The next thing Maharaj had given us was what we know today as the Mool Mantar. So it's the Maha Mantar from Ik Oankar to Gur Prasad, and then Jap, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Pi Sach, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. So Guru Sahib Ji were blessed to see, and they were given this message from Vaheguru Ji, from that divine force, that this is the Mool Mantar. And the message, the instruction that they were given was go around the world and preach and tell people everywhere about the one divine Lord. And this is their process. This is their attributes of how we can experience Vaheguru, of how everybody can connect to that. And we're going to go through the Mool Mantar in detail later, Sadh Sangat Ji. So that's the second incident. The third thing, Sadh Sangat Ji, to remember the Utanka, the backstory of Japji Sahib, the third thing to remember. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj went on many travels. I think we mentioned this last week, if I'm not mistaken. Guru Nanak Dev Ji went on 4 udasis. Some people say 5 udasis. Udasi means like a long journey. And they are the second most traveled person in the world. And Guru Sahib Ji, on one of their udasis, had got to the Himalayas, and they got to a mountain called the Sumer Parbat. And they got to this mountain in the Himalayas where no people can often go to apart from these Sidhs, these spiritual yogis, people, these Sidhs, these ascetics who have been there for many, many years. And I'm talking about hundreds of years. Their age of these Sidhs was very old. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj with Bhai Mardana Ji actually got up to this mountain where not many people can go. And when they got there, they met these Sidhs. And they met the Sidhs, and the Sidhs were shocked to see Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, who was relatively young compared to these Sidhs who were like, many, many years old. They were shocked to say, well, how did you get here? Siddh Puchan Sun Balaya. There's a Pangti from Bhai Gurdas in the Amvara. They say, Siddh Puchan Sun Balaya, Kaun Sakat Teh Ethe Liai. That what power has brought you here? How did you get here? Because they were a bit flabbergasted, asking, how could this have happened? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj replied to say, they said, Hon Japya Parmesaro. That I recited through the power of the Lord's name, Hon Japya Parmesaro. They say, Pao Bhagati Sang Tadi Lai. That through that Bhagati of that one divine Lord, I was able to have that spiritual power to be able to come up to this mountain and be here. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji had many conversations and dialogues with people around them in different areas where they traveled. And this one, I want you to remember this one, is that they went to the Sumer Parbat, this mountain in the Himalayas, and where they engaged with the Sidhs, where they engaged with these ascetics. And they had many conversations about spirituality. They asked them many questions about God, and they asked many things about how to achieve God. And we're going to go through that. Fast forward a little bit now, Sadh Sangat Ji, to Guru Nanak Dev Ji's later years in life, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are now in Kartarpur, the city that they had actually made with their Sikh Sangat. And in Kartarpur now, Sadh Sangat Ji, is Bhai Lehna Ji. Bhai Lehna Ji became our second Guru, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Bhai Lehna Ji is doing a lot of seva of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They've been there for many years, and as part of this seva, they know Guru Nanak Dev Ji very well. They've become what they call a very close Nikti Gursikh. Nikti means close. They became a very close Gursikh of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Bhai Lehna Ji would do whatever Guru Nanak Dev Ji ever asked them to do. They wouldn't question it like we might question our parents. We might question somebody in the Sangha that might say, Tusi aaka do. We might say, well, really, do I have to? Guru Bhai Lehna Ji never questioned anything. Whatever Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, they did it. There came a time, Sadh Sangat Ji, where some Mahapurush, some Sant, some holy people, again some Sidhs, one of the Sidhs was called Sant Narayan Ji, came to see Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Kartarpur. And when they came to see Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Bhai Lehna Ji did their seva. And these Sidhs started to have a conversation with Bhai Lehna Ji. And they said to Bhai Lehna Ji, what does Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message really teach us all? What is their message all about? What is their mantar? What is their mantra that they tell people to recite? What is what we call the Guru Mantar? What is their Mala Mantar? And what is their Mool Mantar? So they're asking about these different mantras. And Bhai Lehna Ji explained to the Sidhs that actually Guru Nanak Dev Ji's path is a path of oneness. It's a path of connecting to the one. And they said the Guru Mantar that we have, that the mantra that we're meant to recite, that Vaheguru Ji, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji has given us, is Vaheguru. That is the mantra that we've been given, as we all do when we do Simran, when we meditate. Sadh Sangat Ji, this is what, just for anybody who doesn't know, Sikhi is about meditation through chanting, and the mantra we've been given is Vaheguru. And the other questions about the Mala mantra, Bhai Lehna Ji couldn't really answer that. And they said to the Sidhs, I said, let me ask Guru Nanak Dev Ji, I'll come back to you tomorrow on this. Bhai Lehna Ji went to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they did Namaskar, and they said to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, the Sidhs who I've been serving, they've asked some questions and I can't answer this particular question. Can you help? And Guru Maharaj asked, what is the question? And Bhai Lehna Ji said, they're asking about the Mala Mantar. What is the Mala Mantar? Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, the Mala Mantar is Japji Sahib. The Mala Mantar is the conversations that we had recorded with the Sidhs. Those conversations that have been recorded, that question, Q&A that with the Sidhs that we had on the Sumer Parbat, that is the Mala Mantar. And they said to Bhai Lehna Ji, you need to have this seva now of getting the notes, getting the writings from the Sumer Parbat and put them into an order and make that order up for the Sangat, and that is going to become Sri Japji Sahib. So from this, Sadh Sangat Ji, what we recite today as Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path, from Ek Oankar all the way through to the Slok, through them 38 pauriyan and the Slok as well, that is the format, that is the composition that Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj put together by the blessings of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and they are recordings and noted conversations that they had with the Sidhs. They might have happened in a different order when it actually happened on that mountain. But Bhai Lehna Ji was given the blessing, the seva of actually putting that together in the format that we see today. So this is the backstory, the Utanaka of Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. And this became a very, what we say, a prasidh, a very supreme bani from Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And from this point onwards, Sadh Sangat Ji, many Gursikh, from this point onwards, as part of their daily routine, their daily Nitnem, recited Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. Even the Guru Sahiban, from Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, all the way through to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and all the Gurmukhs at the time, all recited Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. So Sadh Sangat Ji, the greatness of Sri Japji Sahib, let's reflect upon that very quickly. A few Sakhiyan I will share with you all. Sadh Sangat Ji, Guru Amardass Ji Maharaj in Goindwal Sahib, when they stayed there, they had a seva happening. A seva to dig a well, what we know as a Boli Sahib. And Boli Sahib has 84 steps to go down into this well. Has anybody been to Boli Sahib at Goindwal? If you have, just put your hands up just so we can get a see, an idea. Right, okay, Tika ji. Some people have, huh? Tika ji. So at Boli Sahib, it's a well at Goindwal at the Gurdwara Sahib. And you have to walk down 84 steps to get down to this well. So the Sangat who've been there know what I mean. But the blessings of Sri Guru Amardass Ji is this, that if a Gursikh was to do an Ardas, go and do Ishnan in the well, come up to the first step, recite Sri Japji Sahib, walk back down again, doing Mool Mantar, reciting Vaheguru, walk back down to the well, do Ishnan again, come to the second step, recite Japji Sahib again, and then go down again, do Ishnan, come back, and repeat that process until all the steps are covered, until you got to the bottom of the well. Maharaj has blessed that Gursikh to say that by reciting Japji Sahib 84 times in this way, our deeds, our sins, our whatever we have committed in this life and previous lives will be washed away. Our sins, our garam, we say, our karma will be cleansed. And effectively, we're reciting Japji Sahib 84 times in a well that was blessed by the third Guru. This is not just an ordinary well, an ordinary bit of water. So this is very powerful. So this is the high regard that Guru Amardass Ji Maharaj had for Sri Japji Sahib Satsanga Ji, at the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, there was a Gursikh called Bhai Lehna Ji. Bhai Lehna Ji was one of the Gursikhs who was, again, a very nikti Gursikh, a very close Gursikh of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, our fifth Guru. Bhai Lehna Ji had gone to collect some wood for the langar, because in those days they didn't have gas fires. Just to be clear, they didn't have gas fires. They had to get some wood from the woods, and they had to burn the woods and put the pans on the wood and make the langar, right? So we're quite fortunate nowadays. We turn a gas knob and we got a flame. But it wasn't like that then. So Satsanga Ji, Bhai Lehna Ji has gathered some wood, and he's sat there and he's doing his meditation, he's doing his bhakti, and he's got his eyes closed, and someone by the name of Lakhu comes over to him. And Lakhu sees Bhai Lehna Ji thinking, this is a very spiritual person. You know, I'm going to sit with him, do namaskar, bow down in reverence. And Lakhu Ji wanted to do his ardas from within his heart. And he did this humble benti, he did this ardas in front of Bhai Lehna Ji, saying that, you know what, whatever I get today from the things that I'm going to do, I will share with you. Just make sure I have a very good day getting things that I'm going to collect. Bhai Lakhu Ji was a thief. He was a robber. And he was actually doing an ardas, asking for this blessing to be able to go and rob some people, come back with whatever is robbed, give some of that as an offering to Bhai Lehna Ji because he thought he was a very spiritual person, and then get a blessing. So Bhai Lakhu Ji did that ardas. Bhai Lehna Ji sat there with his eyes closed in his meditation. And Bhai Lakhu Ji goes and finds a chariot of people going to a wedding, and the chariot is full of women wearing beautiful clothes and jewelry. And Bhai Lakhu Ji robs the women. So this is, the women have got lost in the chariot from the rest of the wedding cart, and he robs the women, leaves them stranded, gets all of the loot, and goes back to Bhai Lehna Ji. And he puts it in front of Bhai Lehna Ji. And he goes, Bhai Lehna Ji, this is Bhai Sahib Ji, this is for you. And Bhai Lehna Ji opened their eyes, and they look at Bhai Lakhu Ji, and they said, what is this? And Lakhu Ji says, this is some things that I managed to rob from these people who are going to a wedding, and I'm giving you some of this. This is my takings of the day. This is what I do. I rob people for a living. This is what I do. I'm going to give you some of this because I asked for a blessing, and you blessed me, and I've got so much. And Bhai Lehna Ji said, I'm not going to bless you. You think I blessed you to go and rob somebody? If you think I can bless you, I'm going to curse you. How dare you go and rob somebody? That is not the right thing to do. Bhai Lehna Ji got really angry with him. And he got so scared. He was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. So Bhai Lakhu Ji fell at the feet of Bhai Lehna Ji saying, forgive me, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know not to do this. Bhai Lehna Ji explained to Lakhu, said, you know what, go back and give this to the people, apologize to those people, and then come back. And I can't forgive you, but Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj can forgive you. I'm their chella, I'm their disciple. They can forgive you, not me. So Bhai Lakhu Ji went back, give all the things back to the people of the wedding, the ladies, and he went back to Bhai Lehna Ji and he said, take me to your Guru. I need forgiveness. I'm so sorry. So they went to Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj and they explained the whole story of what had happened. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj said to Bhai Lakhu Ji, said, look, you need to stop robbing people. Stop committing these sins. These are big sins. You robbing people, being a thief is not good. Stop doing that. And over time, Bhai Lakhu Ji learnt Guru Sahib Ji's teachings and he stopped robbing people. And Guru Sahib Ji over time blessed Bhai Lakhu Ji with seva. Through seva, they blessed him with naam didat. We're lucky nowadays, Sad Sangat Ji, we have the Panch Pyare. When we are blessed with Amrit, we are given naam didat. In this way, we're committing ourselves to Guru's Panth, to Guru's Khalsa. At that time, Sad Sangat Ji, you couldn't just get the naam from Guru Sahib Ji just by going and doing their darshan. You had to really earn their naam. And Bhai Lakhu Ji earned naam didat from Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And Bhai Lakhu Ji became a very spiritual person. From a robber who committed so many sins, by following the Guru's path, became a very spiritual person. And it got to the point where Guru Arjan Dev Ji blessed Bhai Lakhu Ji, and they said, you know, Bhai Lakhu Ji, go to Lahore and go and do Sikhi Prachar. Go and tell the people of Lahore about Sikhi. Tell them about the message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Bhai Lakhu Ji said, Satabachan, and they went from Amritsar to Lahore. Sad Sangat Ji, Bhai Lakhu Ji, as part of their daily routine, would recite 21 Sri Japji Sahib Ji the part. 21 Ikki part. And when they would recite that part, they got so spiritual, their avastha was so spiritual, they were living in such humbleness and humility. But they were so connected with the bani of Sri Japji Sahib that they got to the point where they would only eat food by someone who had been reciting Sri Japji Sahib the part. They would only have food from that person who was reciting Japji Sahib and cooking the food at the same time. Otherwise, they would know, okay, I'm not going to eat that food. They got to such a point, Sad Sangat Ji, that as part of their prachar, they were teaching Sangta of Lahore to remember Japji Sahib the part off by heart. They would memorize Japji Sahib and they would say to the Sangta, memorize this bani, memorize this, because you don't know when it's going to come in handy for you. You'll need to know this bani. So they did. Bhai Lakhu Ji became a very great Gursik. And Sad Sangat Ji, I'm just going to reflect on this part of the Sakhi, that just because he was a thief, don't think that he's not worthy of going to the Guru's sanctuary and learning something to become a better person, to then do prachar themselves in Lahore to so many people. And I reflect upon that part of the Sakhi, about personally in my life, and I'm sure many people can reflect upon that as well. We think we're not worthy, we think we've done X, Y, and Z, but by coming to the Guru's sanctuary with the Sangat for Bhai Lakhu Ji was Bhai Prana Ji. He grabbed him by the arm and said, come on, let's get to the Guru's Sangat. Let's come into the Guru's Darbar. And the Guru can forgive you. The Guru can put you on the right path. Who am I? I can't do it. But the Bhai Prana Ji brought him. Look at the transformation that Bhai Lakhu Ji went on. And I'm saying this to my brothers and sisters who are sat here. Never ever think that we're not worthy of coming to the Guru's sanctuary, putting our head down and saying, Maharaj, Baksh-lavo, forgive me. Maharaj, help me. Maharaj, I want to walk on your path. Pichle organ, Baksh-le Prabh. Maharaj would say, Pichle organ, my past mistakes, Baksh-le Prabh, Aage marag paave. Please put me on your path. Please put me on your marag. Forgive me for mistakes I've done. We might think, no, we're not worthy. But Sad Sangat Ji, Guru Sahib Ji can make us worthy. Why don't we come and ask them for that blessing to fall at their feet and say, help me, just like Bhai Lakhu Ji did. Bhai Lakhu Ji got to such a great avastha, Sad Sangat Ji. To carry on this Sakhi a little bit further. In Lahore, there was a guy called Bhai Budhu Ji, a Gursik. And Bhai Budhu Ji had spent a lot of money to buy a business to make bricks, bought a kiln, spent a lot of money. And in the same way today, when we buy a car, or we start a business, or we get a job, or we get a house, whatever khushiyan we have, we come to the Guru's Darbar, and we come and do Matha Tek, and we say, Guru Sahib Ji, thank you for blessing me with whatever we've been given. We do that, right? We ask Guru Sahib Ji to bless us. And when we get that blessing, we say, Maharaj, please, make this whatever I've got, make it successful, make it fruitful. Eche bada pavo. Make that great for me. we get a job or a business or a car or a house, we say, Maharaj, bless me. Because without your blessings, Maharaj, these gifts are not worthy. So Bhai Budhu Ji did exactly that. He went to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj from Lahore to Amritsar, said, Maharaj, you've blessed me to be able to have a business for making bricks. You've blessed me with a kiln. I've put a lot of money into this kiln business. Please bless me that it's a successful business. Maharaj said, of course, what you need to do is go back to Lahore and do seva of the Sangat. Set up a langar and serve everybody food. And serve everybody food. Make sure nobody goes hungry. So Bhai Budhu Ji said, "Theek hai ji, sat bachan." So he went to Lahore, he set up a langar, he fed everybody, all the people who came, all the Gursikhs who came, that everybody was fed langar. Nobody was turned away. Right at the end, towards the langar had been finishing, Bhai Lakhu Ji comes along. And Bhai Lakhu Ji stands outside Bhai Budhu Ji's house and he says, Langar prashadar shakado, please serve me some langar. Bhai Budhu Ji says, sorry, it's too late. We're not serving langar anymore now. And at this point, a Gursikh inside is doing this ardas saying, Guru Sahib Ji, Bhai Lakhu Ji has done such a great seva, maaf karna, Bhai Budhu Ji has done such a great seva, may his kiln be successful. And Bhai Lakhu Ji, who was rejected langar, and he said, that kiln's not going to be successful. The way that you're asking the ardas, saying, Meriyan ittan pakkiyan hon, in Punjabi you're saying, may my bricks be properly baked, be properly formed. Bhai Lakhu Ji cursed Bhai Budhu Ji saying, may your bricks never be properly formed. Thodiyan ittan kachchiyan rehn. And they said that 3 times. And Bhai Lakhu Ji walked away. Bhai Budhu Ji was a bit taken aback by that. Okay, what's just happened? And he found that over time, his bricks were not forming anymore. So he was like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So he went to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj saying, Maharaj, I came and did an ardas, you blessed me, saying that my business will be successful. I did the langar, did everything you asked me to do, and my bricks are not forming very well. My bricks are kachchiyan. And Guru Sahib Ji asked him the question, did you serve everybody langar? And he said, yes, I did. He said, is there anybody that you missed? Guru Sahib Ji asked the question. And he said, yeah, there was one Guru Sikh who came at the end and he asked for langar, but we'd stopped serving langar at that time. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, Guru Sahib Ji is antarjami. Antarjami means they are the knower of all hearts. They are the knower of everything. They are antarjami. They said to Bhai Budhu Ji that the person that you didn't feed was Bhai Lakhu Ji. He is such a devout Gursikh. He's a devotee of the Guru. Whatever he says, I can't change. And he's like, Bhai Budhu Ji's like, well, Guru Sahib Ji, your devotees, your Gursikhs are effectively changing what you've blessed me with. And Guru Sahib Ji said that they can because they're devotees. On the tip of their tongue of those devotees is the name of God. They can say whatever they want and God has to listen to them. Vaheguru Ji, Guru Sahib has to listen to them. They can change that. But whatever they say, the Guru can't change. And there's a Pangti by Bhai Lehna Dev Ji. And where in this Pangti, Maharaj, Bhai Lehna Dev Ji explains that Meri bandi, Bhagat chadave. That Meri bandi, they're saying that whatever in this translation it says bondage, but it's not a bondage, it's almost like whatever I say, Meri bandi, Bhagat chadave. The devotees can change that. Yeah? But they say that bande Bhagat na chute koi, na chute mohe. That whatever that the Bhagats do and say, I can't change that. Gurbani is telling us this, Satsangat Ji. So in this way, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj said to Bhai Budhu Ji, Edaya, I can't now make your itta pakkiyan. Because Bhai Lakhu Ji's bachan, from the bhakti that is done with Sri Japji Sahib to the part, his bachan is now set. His instruction is set. What I can say to you is this, that your kachchiyan itta, your unbaked bricks, will actually get sold for the right price as if they were proper bricks. Teriyan kachchiyan ittiyan, pakkiyan ittiyan de paa te bechan giyan. Whoever understands Punjabi, you'll understand what I'm saying. That's the bachan from Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, that they will sell. And this exactly happened. There came a time where there was a big storm and the walls had fallen in the city of Lahore and they couldn't build, they couldn't get the bricks from anywhere. And the Sangat who were making those walls went to Bhai Lakhu Ji, maaf karna Bhai Budhu Ji, and they asked for the bricks, and his kachchiyan bricks, his unbaked bricks, were then sold at the right price of baked bricks, and he then recouped his money from that kiln. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, Guru's bachan is atal as well. But the devotees upon which are beloved to the Guru, what they say, Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj Pangtian say, that no one can change that. This shows us, Sadh Sangat Ji, the power of Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. By reciting Japji Sahib as our mantra daily, it can really, really help us, like by Lakhu Ji it was. Sadh Sangat Ji, we see in our history, and we Shaheedan de Sartaj, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, when they're about to be Shaheed and be Jyoti Jyot, and they go to the river, and they're about to go into the river to bathe for that one last time, after sitting on a tati tavi, after having hot sand poured over their head, being tortured for 5 days, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj recites Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path, and the Panch Gursikh who were with them, Bhai Budhu Ji, Bhai Purana Ji, Bhai Langar Ji, Bhai Pera Ji, Bhai Jetha Ji, these 5 Gursikh who were with them reciting Japji Sahib Ji da Path, when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj go into the Nadi, they are then elope. They're then gone. They're no longer in that bodily form. They're Jyoti Jyot. Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path has that power, Sadh Sangat Ji, that even the Gurus were reciting it at the time as their Jyoti Jyot. We see this when we remember by Mati Das Ji. When Bhai Mati Das Ji was with Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, and that aura, that saw, we can see the picture upstairs outside the Darbar Hall, that aura, that saw is about to cut Bhai Mati Das Ji in half from the top of their head. And Bhai Mati Das Ji is looking at Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, and they say to the executioner, they're saying, let me recite Sri Japji Sahib and let me look at my Guru, and as soon as I start with Eko Ankar, you start your saw. Sadh Sangat Ji, that saw was so big, it took 2 people to hold it, one at either end, and they were pulling it back and forth over their head. Bhai Mati Das Ji was reciting Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path with such commitment and focus and dedication that Ara didn't inflict any pain on them, didn't inflict anything on them. Bhai Mati Das Ji was being cut in half, and Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path was still resounding from every pore of their body. Even when their body fell to the floor in half, Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path did not stop. Did not stop until the slok came and they finished that Japji Sahib Ji da Path. Then their Atma was then released into Paramatma. We remember Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, when they were about to be Shaheed, when they're about to put their head down, they say to the executioner that let me recite Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path, and when I finish that slok, then you can do whatever you need to do. Maharaj sat there, Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj sat in Chandni Chowk. They recited Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path, and when they recited this bani and they put their head down, that's when the executioner moved their sword and separated Maharaj's body from their head. Even then, Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji was reciting Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. This is the power of this Bani, Sadh Sangat Ji. This is not just a Bani that we recite as part of our daily practice. There is power behind this Bani. Our history tells us this. Babaniya kahaniya put saput karen. This is why I shared this Pangti at the very beginning. Our history, Sadh Sangat Ji, is our roots. If we forget our history, we've lost who we are. As a community, if we lose our history, we lose our boli, our speech. Last week I said our maa boli, Punjabi. My brothers and Vichara from the Sangat last week, actually this is Guru's boli, this is Guru's language, not the mother tongue, this is Guru's tongue, which is so true. If we forget our Guru's tongue and we forget our history, we've lost our roots. Sadh Sangat Ji, we have to remember our history. So we know the power of the Bani that we've been given, the power of who we're supposed to be really in this life today. Sadh Sangat Ji, we know that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, when they gave us Khalsa Panth, when we have the Amrit Sanchar ceremony, the first Bani that is recited is Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj put that Path, that Bani at the forefront of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj as part of our daily routine, our daily Nitnem. If we don't already, Sadh Sangat Ji, I encourage you all to recite Sri Japji Sahib Ji da Path daily. If we do it already, fantastic. As part of this Katha series, Sadh Sangat Ji, let's start to memorize Japji Sahib Ji da Path. Let's memorize it. Let's learn it off by heart. We're going to be going through pauri by pauri every week. So let's learn it every week, not just the meanings of this bani, but also let's try to memorize it. Because we could become like Bhai Lakhu Ji. We could become like Bhai Lakhu Ji and do Japji Sahib 21 times a day. And who knows what kirpa, what blessings would be bestowed upon us if we could do that, just sat before turning Netflix on, recite Japji Sahib Jada Path, just sat there for 10, 15 minutes. Imagine if we could do that. So this is what blessings Guru Sahib Ji can bring upon us, that as we're going on this journey of this Katha, let's also recite and memorize Japji Sahib Jada Path. And if we can do that as well, it will really help our Jivan, our life. Sad Sangat Ji, one more Sakhi about the greatness of Sri Japji Sahib Path. Sri Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji asks a Sangat, they say to the Sangat, can anybody recite Japji Sahib Jada Path with full commitment and dedication? Can anybody come forward? One Gursikh humbly comes forward, Bhai Gopala Ji. Bhai Gopala Ji says, Maharaj, if you bless me, if you give me your grace, then I will try to recite Sri Japji Sahib Jada Path should, accurately, and with complete focus and dedication. Now, I'm saying these words, focus and dedication, but how often when we're reciting Path and we do Japji Sahib, before we finish Mool Mantar, we got a thought coming into our head. We got something else that we're thinking about. We might not get past Satanam. We might not get past Nirapa or Niraver. And all of a sudden we're thinking, what am I going to have for my breakfast? What am I going to have, a tea or a coffee? You know, how many sugars am I going to put in it today? What am I going to do for work? All of a sudden the train of thoughts comes along. Hana? It happens, right? Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji wanted to hear Japji Sahib without any of them thoughts, but with complete focus on Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji's charan, with complete commitment and devotion to reciting that bani. Bhai Gopala Ji said, Maharaj, if you bless me, I will try to do it. Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji positioned Bhai Gopala Ji, and they said, Bhai Sahib Ji, tusi shuru karo, start the part. And as Bhai Gopala Ji started, Ikko Ankar Satnam Karta Purkh, Sri Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji put their hands together and bowed down in reverence to hearing the words of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And as Bhai Gopala Ji was reciting Sri Japji Sahib, he recited it so beautifully, so accurately, with complete focus and dedication. No thought came into his mind apart from the words he was reciting as Japji Sahib. As he was reciting this, Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji was recognizing and realizing that this part, this bani, is complete. He's saying it with love. Guru Sahib Ji could feel the vibration. And as they were feeling this, they were moving away from their seat, from where they were sat. As Bhai Gopala Ji was getting to the slok, coming to the end of the part, Guru Hargobind Ji had got up and had moved away. Bhai Gopala Ji got a bit distracted and saw Guru Sahib Ji move away, and they thought, well, is Guru Sahib Ji going to go and get me a sarupa? Is Guru Sahib Ji going to go and give me a gift because I've been reciting Sri Japji Sahib so well, with so much focus and dedication? Wonder what Guru Sahib Ji is going to give me. That was a thought that Bhai Gopala Ji had. And he had this train of thoughts that I talked about? From that thought about what would Guru Sahib Ji give me, that thought became, actually, Guru Sahib Ji was just recently blessed, Vaheguru Ji, not blessed, was gifted with 5 beautiful, expensive horses. Each horse had a very expensive saddle on it, adorned with jewels. Maybe if Guru Sahib Ji thinks I'm worthy, I could get one of those horses. See that train of thought? Think about a reward. Guru Sahib Ji's got up. Oh, what could it be? Or maybe it's a horse. That's where that chain of thought then went. By that point, the slok had completed. And Guru Sahib Ji sat back down at their seat. Guru Hargobind Patsah Ji was very happy with Bhai Gopala Ji. Blessed Bhai Gopala Ji and said, Bhai Gopala Ji, you've recited this bani of Guru Nanak Dev Ji so well, so beautifully. Whatever you want, whatever you wish for, you can have. And Maharaj gave the horse to Bhai Gopala Ji. Maharaj gave him the horse, but blessed him with Sikhi and blessed him with Nam and said, you know what, you're liberated. The way you've recited that bani so well, so completely, you're liberated. Teri mukti hogi. You are liberated and your whole family is liberated. You've achieved this just by reciting it so well once. But Bhai Gopala Ji, you missed out on the biggest gift, and the gift of the Gurgaddi. I was about to get off this Gurgaddi and give it to you for reciting this bani so focusedly, so with so much love. And thinking of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's charan in front of you, I was going to get up and I was going to give you this Gaddi. This gift of all gifts would have been yours. But instead, you asked for the worldly thing of a horse. Sadh Sangat Ji, we learn from this Sakhi, we learn from this history that Sri Japji Sahib is so highly regarded by the Gursikhs, our Gurus, the Gurmukhs of the times, the Shaheeds, Singaniya of the times. This bani is truly powerful. And now, Sadh Sangat Ji, as we come towards the end of the Katha in a few more moments, I want to explain, we've talked about the different mantar of Gurbani, we've talked about the Mool Mantar, we've talked about the Maha Mantar. Let me explain what these mantras are, and I'll give you this analogy so it'll help you understand a bit more. And then we'll go into reciting the Mool Mantar Arth and the translations. Ik Oankar is what we call the Bij Mantar. It's the seed. Imagine a tree that starts from a seed for a moment. Just visualize this. You have a seed. From a seed, you have the roots. From the roots, you get the growth of a tree. You get the big tree trunk. And then you get all the leaves and the branches around the tree. You with me? Tika. And then all the soil that's within, around the roots, is there as well, giving the nourishment into the roots and into the tree. Sadh Sangat Ji, in Gurbani, the Bij Mantar, the seed, is Ik Oankar. The soil is the Gur Mantar, which is Vaheguru. And the roots of this tree is the Mool Mantar that we've been given by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. From Ik Oankar to Nanak Hosi Pi Saj. That's the Mool Mantar, that's the roots for us. The Mala Mantar, which is Sri Japji Sahib, is the main trunk of the tree. So the main trunk, the main part of this tree, the one that's holding up everything is Sri Japji Sahib. And then all the leaves and the branches that are around the tree is the rest of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, all the rest of the Baniya. What this analogy helps us understand is that from the Ik Oankar, from the seed, we get the roots. From the roots, we get the trunk. From the trunk, we get the whole of the rest of Gurbani. Sri Japji Sahib Ji, the part from Ik Oankar all the way to the slok at the end, that is effectively the main structure of the tree. That is Gurbani, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. The rest of the Gurbani, the rest of Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Shabads and Baniya are an expansion of Sri Japji Sahib Ji, the part. This is how deep Sri Japji Sahib Ji, the part is. This is how deep you could go into the Bani of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So I just wanted to explain that, Sadh Sangat Ji, that Sri Japji Sahib is in effect the whole essence of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. This is why it is regarded as being so powerful. So our Sadh Sangat Ji, as we've gone through a lot of the Itihas and the Utanaka of Sri Japji Sahib, the backstory, let's all put our hands together and let's all recite the Gur Mantar a few times before we go into the earth of the Mool Mantar. Today we will do some basic definitions of Mool Mantar, and next week we'll go into a bit more detail. Sare, everyone put your hands together, close our eyes, and let's just meditate for a minute or so, just saying the Gur Mantar of Vaheguru. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru Ji. Hanji.
Ik Oankar.
Ik Oankar. We often see the translations and it very simply says there is one God. Sad Sangaji, that is such a short simplification of the depth of Ik Oankar. Remember I said this was the Bij Mantar, this was the seed. From the seed we have the rest of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. How powerful must that seed be? I will give a very quick definition of Ik Oankar. Next week we'll go into a lot more detail. Ik Oankar means that there is one, from the Ik, there is one which has no other comparison. There is one God with no other opposition. There is no second, or there's no third, or there's no fifth. They are Advaita Roop. Advaita means that they are without duality. There is no second. They are one. And that one is for everyone. That one is the oneness that exists everywhere. That's Ik. Oankar, in, again, summarized short form, means that there is actually what they say, Satya Prakash. Sabda Prakash, that they are within Prakash, within everyone. That one Lord, that one Creator is giving light to everybody. They're giving knowledge to everyone. They exist within their creation, the creation that they created. This is the depth of Ik Oankar Ji.
Satanam.
Satanam. So Satanam we often take to mean true is his name, or his name is truth. Let's just expand on this and elaborate a bit more. Sat and Nam. Sat, first of all, does mean true, but it also means something that cannot be destroyed. Something that cannot be finished. It has no end. And then it's true. Then it's Sat. And Sat is the word that comes from Sanskrit, Satya. So we have Sasa Tatenu Sahari. So we could even say Satte a little bit. So, but this is Sat. And Sat is telling us that this one Paramatma, this Ik Oankar, that one Lord, is undestroyable. They are true forever because they can't be destroyed. And to help understand that, we see things today around us and that we think it's real. We see this body, we think it's real, and it is. And it's true because it's sat here, but it's not totally true. It's actually false because one day this body's going to go. So if it's going to go one day, it's not true. True is only that one thing that will last forever, and that is a Kalpurukh Vaheguru, is that Paramatma, that one Lord, that one divine energy, God. Nam. Nam, again, very easily translates to name, but Nam here in this context means that Vaheguru Ji, God, is well known throughout their whole creation. Like in Punjabi, we might say that this individual may have, Oda bahut bada naam hai. He has a very big name. Or Eda naam bahut bada in the sense that, in the context that he's well known throughout the community or within the Sangat or within the country, within the world. He has a big name. This is Naam. Vaheguru Ji, God has a big name. They are known throughout the whole creation. Ji.
Karta Purukha.
Karta. Karta means the creator. They are the one who created everything. And I mean everything. Everything we see and even things we do not see. The spiritual realms of existence, the physical realms, they have created everything in the universe. That is the Karta. But Karta also means the doer, the one who's doing things as well. Best way to explain this very quickly is that if we have a pet, like a dog, we might take a dog to the park. The dog might be doing whatever the dog wants to do, but he's still on a leash. And we, as the owner, have taken the dog to the park. Once we're done, he's been at the park, he'll go home, and the dog might go somewhere else. The dog's still doing his thing, but the owner is taking him from different places. He's not created the dog, but he's doing stuff. This is a Kalpurukh Vaheguru as well. They are the Karta, they are the creator, and they're the doer. Purukh means that they are complete. They are the complete doer. They are the ones who are complete as an existing, as a being that is forever and ever undestroyable as one true entity. Hanji.
Nirpao.
So, Nirpao, let's just break this up. Pao means fear. And whenever we see Nir in Gurbani, it means the opposite of fear. So, Nirpao means they are fearless. They have no fear. Vaheguru Ji has not got any fear of anyone or anything. Ji.
Nirvair.
Vair means to have hatred or enmity. Nirvair is the opposite of that. They don't have any vair. They have no enmity. They have no enemies. They have no hatred towards anyone. And the way to think about it is, why would Guru Sahib Ji, why would Vaheguru Ji hate something in their creation? They've created it. Why would they hate it? So that's why they are nirvair. They are beyond hate. They are hate without hate at all. Hanji.
Akal Murat.
Akal and Murat. Again, let's just break that up. Akal. If we look at what Kal means, that means time. When we put that in front of Kal, whenever we see in Gurbani, it means the opposite. So in English, we might say visible, then you have invisible. So Akal is like invisible. But in the sense that Guru Sahib Ji, Vaheguru Ji is timeless. They are beyond time. That's what Akal means. Akal means time, and means without and beyond time. They are outside of the whole concept and dimension of time. Time is relevant for us, but for God, they are beyond time. They don't care about time. They are ever present. Murat means that this is the form of God. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is telling us that these attributes, these qualities are the form of God. Akal Murat Ji.
Ajuni Sapang.
Ajuni. So in the same way that I said Akal, you have Ajuni. Juni means birth, and means without birth. So Vaheguru Ji, God, has not ever been born. They are beyond this cycle of life and death. They're never born and they never die. They are beyond that whole cycle that we as people and animals and creation exist in. Whatever is created has to be sustained and then is destroyed. Simple. This is the way the world works. Vaheguru Ji, God, is beyond that. They are Ajuni. They don't have this cycle of life and death. Juni Sepang. Sepang means that they are, the translation would say self-illuminated. But what this means is that they are their own power source. They are their own energy source. And the way to think about this is, if you have a light bulb, we have lights in the darbar, we switch a light switch, and then electricity feeds the light, you get light. But Vaheguru Ji, they don't need a switch. They are forever illuminated. They're always illuminated. They have no energy source apart from themselves. And that's a bit hard for us to imagine, but God is that self-illuminated, self-energized form in Sepang Ji.
Gora Prasad.
Gur, as in Guru Sahib Ji, which means that one who can enlighten us is the Gur. And Prasad is the blessings bestowed upon us. Gur Prasad is that these attributes in Mool Mantar of God, of Vaheguru Ji, these things that we are going through now, we can achieve these things through Guru's blessings, through Gur Prasad.
Jap.
Jap. Jap is the name of the bani, Sri Japji Sahib. So we have the name of the bani at this point. But this is also an instruction to us. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, to achieve and experience Vaheguru Ji in this way, you need to jap, you need to chant. You need to chant externally by doing Simran and saying the Guru Mantar or Mool Mantar or whatever it might be, by chanting, or even chanting internally, bringing that external mantra, that external chant inside of you. This is the instruction to us of Japji.
Adi Sacha.
Adi Sacha. So here Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is explaining to us that Vaheguru, God, has been true from the very early stages, actually from right at the very beginning of existence. They were true before the ages even started. They were true at the very, very beginning. Adi Sacha Ji.
Jugade Sacha.
Jug, Ad. Two words put together. Jug means the ages. So last week we talked about Satyajug, Treta, Dwapar, Kaljug. These are the ages, the four ages that ancient texts tell us about. Jug Ad means that Vaheguru Ji were true throughout all of those ages, what we might call the past, right? If we're talking about the concept of time. In the past, God is always true, Hanji.
Happy Sacha.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj tells us that God is true now. God exists now. They are the truth embodiment right now, in this present moment in time. They were true in the past, the Jugad as such. They are true now, Hanji.
Nanaka Hosi Sacha.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is proclaiming, they are saying, Nanak hosi pi, such that in the future, even when time stops to exist, even when that time when the universe implodes on itself and it doesn't even exist, after so many billion and trillions of years, even then, God will still be true. God will still exist. This is the expanse of God, Sad Sangat Ji. And through this Mool Mantar, we can experience Vaheguru Ji, we can experience God because we understand these attributes of God. But also, and we'll talk about this more next week in a bit more depth, Sad Sangat Ji, we can become those attributes. We can enshrine those attributes within our heart. So Sad Sangat Ji, through today's Katha, I am sure that I have made a lot of mistakes by doing this Katha of the Mool Mantar and going through the Utanaka, the backstory of Sri Japji Sahib. We've gone over by a few moments as well today, but I thought it was really important that we express the greatness of Sri Japji Sahib, go through the history of it, because it's setting our foundational knowledge of what Japji Sahib Ji da Paath means to a Guru Sikh. And we are all Sikh of the Guru. And I'll just to say this one moment, we had a Hukamnama just came before we started the Katha and the Kirtan. Guru Sahib Ji says, Ek Pita, Ekas ke hum barak, Tu mera gur hai. Ek Pita, we are the children of one Father, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And that Guru is there for all of us. It doesn't matter where we feel we are in our life. We are worthy of coming to the Guru's sanctuary, and we are worthy of coming to the Guru and saying, yo, help me, man. Get me on your path. Get me to a point where I can be spiritual and achieve you and experience you and have that contentment in my life. So Sad Sangat Ji, next week we will continue to go through Mool Mantar again, but next week we'll learn a bit more about Ek Oankar. We'll talk more about the attributes of God. We'll talk about Rajogun, Satogun, Tamogun. These are qualities of Maya. What is Maya? We'll talk about the whole illusion. So we'll cover a lot more next week, a lot more depth of the Mool Mantar. And then Sad Sangat Ji will go on to other pauri in the coming weeks. So Sad Sangat Ji, forgive us for any mistakes that we have made. You have truly blessed us as the sevadars of the Guru and of the Sangat to be able to do this seva of yourself, of this Katha today. So our Sad Sangat Ji pulan choka maaf karniya. Guru Sahib Ji de agge hath jod ke fateh bulaiye ji. Vaheguru Ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki fateh.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki fateh.
Vaheguru.